Well, more rainfall and the chance for more storms later in the day, a very warm, potentially record warm weekend, and then a big cool down next week. So more rain. Boy, the drought is going to be over at this rate. An additional 1 to as much as 3+ inches of rain. Everything in green are 1 inch plus amounts. In the northwestern corner of Hennepin County, right on the border of Wright and Hennepin County, radar estimates of more than 3 inches of rain with this Friday rainfall. Now, this is on top of the rain, of course, we saw over the last 7 days, mostly last weekend. But in that area, they have seen 6 to 7, 8 inches of rain. So when you add it up, some places in the northwestern corner of Hennepin County closing in on 9 inches plus of rain just over the last 7 days. Of course, the North Shore, 6 inches plus there, and that's why we were worried about potential flooding for those areas. You got the topography at play too, but an additional round of rain, 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches, locally heavier amounts north of the Twin Cities with that second round later today. So flood watch for Carleton counties, southeastern St. Louis counties, Lake County, so the whole Duluth area that got nailed really twice this month with the heavy rain there. The ground is obviously saturated. You've got those big hills, those creeks that can overflow pretty quickly. So additional rainfall could be a bit of an issue for the Duluth area. We've got a couple things going on. One, this upper level disturbance, little wave ripple moving through the atmosphere, but also the surge northward of warmer, more humid air. This is the low-level jet this morning, 4,000 feet above the ground. Winds were howling at 40 to 60 miles an hour. A conveyor belt, if you will, of heat and humidity. Dew points in the 60s and 70s, of course, in the south, but that air is advecting or moving northward. So much more humid this go around with the heat that we're going to see this weekend compared to what we had over a week ago when it was a drier, more typical fall kind of heat. And we've got a boundary kind of set up here across South Dakota into northwestern Minnesota. Winds are shifting here more out of a northerly and westerly direction there. So a little bit of a boundary to work with too. High temperatures today, sun breaking out, upper 70s, probably Twin Cities, but 80s in the southwestern part of the state where they'll see a little more sunshine. Rain-cooled temperatures in the northern half of the state. Most of the energy is going to be concentrated to the southern half of the state today. Shear will overlap with some of that. So central and southwestern Minnesota, we're really looking at the potential for some severe weather with this evening round of storms. Marginal risk, not high, but a level 1 out of 5. More remarkable is that we're almost heading into October, seeing almost record heat, dew points, and potential for some severe weather. So central Minnesota is the area we're going to watch for storms to redevelop. This is 7 p.m. and then that could fill in and create a large area of some heavy rainfall. So again, that's why we're worried about the Duluth area. And then tomorrow into the 80s. Sunday might be the peak of our heat, maybe upper 80s here in southern Minnesota. Record high for the Twin Cities, 87 on Sunday, set back in 1897, long time ago. And that could be in peril. And then not one but 2 systems next week. The heat breaks late Tuesday with showers and thunderstorms into Wednesday. Another system on Friday. Both of those really pulling down cool air out of Canada. So the heat, enjoy it if you like this summer heat. This might be the last blast of temperatures quite this warm for this extended of a period, because as we head into next week, some pretty chilly air, the coldest air we've seen certainly so far this season. High temperatures by next Saturday. Now compare the 80s we'll see tomorrow to next Saturday. Highs in the 50s, maybe only 40s in northern Minnesota, setting us up for some chilly nights. Early next Sunday morning lows, widespread 30s to maybe hanging on to the 40s in the urban heat island. Now that's a week away. Could be a little bit different than that, but either way you get the idea. Temperatures will be trending downward dramatically late next week. As is typical in October, at some point the shoe drops. 79 though today, into the 80s, 3, maybe 4 days consecutive of that. Enjoy the warmth. We'll have some more sunshine, especially Sunday, Monday it looks like too. And then temperatures will drop with yet more rainfall next week.